Hello, welcome to my first YouTube video talking about metaphysical things and my understanding of life and how things work and how the game of life works and how we all get not what we desire, but what we expect. Expectation is reality. Life is a movie, and how the movie works is we are conscious energy. We are not a body. We are not human beings. Like, this is a vessel that we use to play this game of life, to live on this 3D physical plane. We exist within human bodies to have the human experience, right? So this is not who we are, and we know that because you can lose parts of your body, and that doesn't mean that you lose who you are. Like, that's not, your body is not who you are. It's not. It's truly not. So you are the conscious energy that exists within this body. And so that's what people mean when they say when somebody died, like, you can still get in contact with them, or you can still communicate with them or feel their energy, because they are still alive. Like, not physically alive, but they are energetically still alive, and they're probably still around you trying to communicate. But because you convinced yourself, or accepted, I should say, because it's not like you convinced yourself, it's like the reality, quote unquote. But the 3D is not actually reality. Like, when you get into all this and really understand, you understand that, like, imagination is reality, vibration is reality. Like, the 3D is but a mirror of these things. So when you're making this movie of life, when you're going through this movie and you're conscious energy, and by the way, when you're conscious energy, that means that you're limitless, boundless. Like, there's no rules. With the human body, there's rules. It's not a matter of like, oh, I can't do that, I'm a human being. Like, human beings can't do that. You're not a human being though. So you can do whatever you decide to do. Whatever you are conscious of being, that's what you can do. You just have to stay aware, like, for long enough to allow proof to come into your experience. It'll always be signs, like little things showing you, oh, okay, like, that was a good thought you just had. Here's a good reflection on earth, like on the 3D plane from that good thought. Like, even though you've had all these negative thoughts, like you saw something nice, or somebody said something nice to you, and now you had a positive thought and you felt good about yourself. And so there's gonna be some type of reflection. You just have to always be looking. Like, the universe, life, God is always speaking to you. We're just usually so preoccupied with all these human things, like bills and, you know, like your significant other, what people think of you, or your friends, or what's going on in the world, or just all this other shit that has nothing to do with you. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's not you as a conscious awareness being that is limitless and boundless and like everything. That is a human being. Back to Bashar's explaining the life is a movie thing. So basically, since we are conscious energy, right, we are projecting our light, the light that is the conscious energy that lives within us and that is who we actually are. We are projecting that energy, that light, onto a picture, and then that picture is, you know, producing a certain movie at a certain time, and that movie is always changing. You think about it, and then you feel strongly about it, and then now you're in that universe, and now you're projecting that reality onto the 3D. And so now a physical 3D, like an example that you can see or taste or smell or touch, or, you know, sense with your senses, physical senses, is going to come into your experience, right? So it's like, it's a combination. Your conscious energy is projecting a light being, because all you are is light. All you are is like unlimited, boundless potential energy. You can do and be and have all things. You are projecting a light onto a picture, just like they do at the movies. Like, it's a reel that they're projecting. It's like one movie. But instead of the movies being linear, it's literally different realities. because it's not like, okay, I'm here and then now I have to wait until I can get here. Like, no, you're constantly shifting and moving to different realities. But the problem is most people are having the same thoughts. So they're just shifting to different realities that are very, 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 very similar. Because of that, because we're always just focused on our 3D reality and like what we're focused on, right? Like what we're thinking, what we're expecting, and then what we're feeling strongly about is coming to us because it has to. That's the only thing that's possible. It's the only thing that's playing in the projector room. It's the only frame available in that moment. And so the trick or the way to win or play, actually play and like have a good time and get the things you want out of life, is to consistently choose what you want, no matter what is going on in the 3D. No matter what, sooner or later, and more so sooner, you consistently focus on what you want and positive thoughts and expecting what you want, you're going to get what you want, because that's all that's vibrationally available to you. The problem is most people are only ever thinking about, the only thing that's available to me is how my life has already been. And so they're constantly repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, but just slightly different, slightly different, slightly different. And so it feels like, okay, my life is just the same. Time is just passing. Everything is just the same. But they don't even realize they're shifting to different realities all the time. 1 minute I am sad. So now you're in the reality where you're sad. 1 minute I am depressed, so now you're in the reality where you are depressed. 1 minute, I am feeling a bit better, so now you're in the reality where you're feeling better. 1 minute, okay, I can make this happen, like I'm feeling good and like I feel hopeful about life. So now you're in the reality where you're hopeful about life. You just keep going until you're at the reality where you know that everything is already yours, because it's just a ladder. The more you think positively and the more you have positive high vibrational thoughts, the more those kind of things that are aligned with that frequency can come to you. You are conscious energy, right? So it's like basically whatever you're thinking about, that conscious energy that you are is going into that basket and attracting things only that are in that basket. Nothing can come to you that's not in that basket. It can't, because of your expectation. You are deciding life every moment, every time you have a thought, every time you have a strong feeling, and every time you claim something to be, every time you say I am, you are creating life itself. You are creating a picture every moment when you have a thought and feel strongly, 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 it's the combination. Every moment you are creating different pictures, and you as the conscious, you as who you really are, like boundless energy within. So when you focus on, when you think about something, when you expect something about your life, about what's possible for you, about who you are as a person, and then you feel strongly about that, like you feel like, okay, that's who I am, that's what's possible for me, that's the reality, that's what's available for me, right? Then the conscious energy that you actually are projects onto that thought and creates a picture in 3D reality. And not a picture, but like an experience, something that happens, that it's the physical equivalent to the vibrational equivalent of the thought that you had with that strong feeling. That's how life is, every moment. So we're constantly shifting dimensions. It's just that most people aren't staying in the dimension that they want. They're staying in the dimension of, this is reality, this is how my life has been, and because of that, this is what's available to me. And so they're constantly recreating. They don't realize how their words, how they speak, how they think, how they feel, what they expect for life, and who they are and what's possible for them is literally creating their experience. People will be like, yeah, I'll think positive when I can, when I'm not worried about something important, or when I'm worried about something I can't control, then I'll think positive. But like, other than that, I have to deal with the reality of things. And you sound crazy telling me to just always think positive and always expect positive, because like, that's not what's actually happening. I need to focus on what's actually happening. And it's like, girl, That's why it keeps happening, because you're focusing on it. Like, the cat is out the bag. Like, mic drop. Why are you focusing on what you don't want? Focus on what you want and expecting what you want at all times, because we are always creating our reality. Most people will only think positive thoughts like here and there when certain things happen to them, like, oh, somebody said something nice to me, or something good happened to them that day, so now they feel good and now they're thinking positive. That's how most people are, and I understand, because I used to be like that. But that's because of what you're focusing on and what you're expecting from life. That's the problem with most people. They think positive for like a couple minutes because something good happened, and so because of that, something positive happens in their life, and they're like, oh, that's awesome, da da da. But they don't realize that they can just constantly do that about everything. And it's like, when I can think positively, like when I have the time, when I'm not dealing with actual real world things like being an adult and paying bills and worrying about my significant other or taking care of my kids or whatever, then I'll think positively, because then I have the free time to do so. And it's like, no, girl, your thoughts are constantly creating your reality. So the sooner you start thinking positively about everything, the sooner your life will be what you want it to be. And always, not just like, I got this new good job, but like, I can't find a significant other that I want, or that's my equal, or me and my kid is not getting along. You're creating that, my love. And I know that's hard to like admit and accept, but the sooner you do, the sooner you can have the life you actually want, because that's what it takes. Deciding and realizing that you are creating your life in every way, the good, bad, and the wonderful. You are constantly creating your life. The more you think, the more you're in a basket, the more energy you're able to, the more momentum, that's the word, you're able to sustain, then the more the things that are in that basket can come to you. Opportunities that are in that basket, friends, people, experiences, jobs, amazing food, amazing, you know, whatever you care about, whatever is your desires, they're in these different baskets. But the thing is, we jump from basket to basket. The only baskets we normally stay in as human beings are the basket of worry, the baskets of fear, the baskets of how am I going to do this, the baskets of I'm limited, the baskets of they can do that but I can't, it's not possible for me. The problem is people usually stay in negative baskets, the baskets of what's realistic, like what's possible because of what happened in the past, not realizing that you're constantly creating your life. So at any moment you can start thinking differently and start thinking things and start attracting things to you that are aligned with those different, better, higher thoughts. That's what people mean when they say you can change your life overnight, or when you're aligned, like you can do things that people have waited years to do, or thought they had to work hard or study or do these different things for years before they can do such and such. But when you're in alignment and when you're accepting who you truly are and the powers that you truly are, you can do things overnight because you are God. So anyways, let me get into that. I love different teachers, and I love Neville Goddard because of the way that he explains and breaks down the Bible, because that really like helped me understand some things and like make a lot of major breakthroughs. So shout out to him. Shout out to Abdullah too, because he taught Neville Goddard. We are God. We are God. And Jesus in the Bible is an example of that, of the human man and how the human man can only do certain things. But when the human man is born again and accepts that he can do all things with God, right? With God, all things are possible. So when the human man is born again and accepts that he can do all things with God, though he was very limited in his human form, in his human mind, in his human identity, because he could only do certain things and had certain limitations, and it would take certain years and certain qualifications and knowing certain people and being born of certain families and graduating from certain colleges to do certain things when you're the human man, when that's who you identify with. But when you identify with the unlimited, boundless, ever abundant, ever knowing, all being, conscious energy that actually is who you are and that lives in and dwells in and gives life to this physical vessel that we are, then you get to have everything that you want. then you get to be everything that you want to be, because you realize that you already are. You are God itself. God energy, God presence, God being, God consciousness, God boundlessness. And because of that, that means that you can be, do, and have all things. You're boundless. You're not stuck to this physical form. Just like it said in the book Alchemist, like when he turned into the fucking wind, he couldn't have did that as man, but he accepted that he wasn't man. He was boundless, limitless consciousness and could do anything. He could be anything. He is anything. He is everything. We are everything. So it's only a matter of realizing the things that you actually want to be and then claiming them, and that is the reality that you experience. The problem is, like I said, most people are claiming and the realistic reality that they're seeing every day in the 3D, and so they're constantly recreating it, but just a little bit differently. But when you think about what you want consistently and put your energy in that basket, there's no other choice but for the things that are aligned with you and your higher thoughts and your higher visions and your higher desires to come to you, because that's all that's available to you vibrationally. All that can come to you is what's in vibrational alignment with your thoughts in combination with those strong feelings. That's what's constantly creating your reality, being projected into the 3D, being projected into the 3D. The 3D is but a mirror. That's how you can have and create everything that you want, because you are in control of the now. That's what's actually real. The 3D is but an example of that, based on different things that you thought about during the day, different feelings that you had, different thoughts that you had. It's cut, and then it produces different things based on the cut of all this combination of things. And I saw this video where somebody explained like how we have all these different thoughts, and because we have all these different thoughts and we identify with different realities, we're jumping to these different realities. Either they're similar, or even if they're different, it's just like they're stacking on top of each other. And that's why we as human beings feel like time is moving at a certain pace and it takes a certain amount of time to do things, because we're slowing reality down by thinking all these different random thoughts and jumping into all these different random baskets, right? And attracting from this basket for 25 seconds, and then attracting from that basket from 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then attracting from another basket for 5 seconds, and another basket for 10 seconds, and another basket for 11 seconds. We're constantly creating this gumbo, this mixture reality that we experience in the 3D, in a delay that's cut, that's a product of all these different baskets that we're going in, all these different thoughts and emotional strong feelings that we're having about ourselves, about what's possible, about our life, what's possible for us. We're constantly creating it, right? If you only think about what you want, that's all that's possible for you, and that's our only job as humans. And it's like, it's so funny how they convince us that we're supposed to do all these different things, all these physical things, to get the things that we want and be the person that we want to be and be successful and be happy and be the person that we want to be. But as you know, that is not the case. I'm talking about people who had million-dollar companies, like people who, you know, people thought were so beautiful or so amazing or so talented or so wonderful, literally killed themselves in one way or another because they inside personally didn't realize who they actually were, the unlimited, boundless being. They identified with the body and the limitations and the thoughts and the doubts and the projections of this societal world that makes you doubt yourself, makes you hate yourself, makes you feel like you need to change and buy stuff and do this and do that to be the person that you want to be. You are everything, and you don't need these things to be who you like think you're supposed to be, or to have happiness, or to have abundance. And another thing, when you realize that you are limitless, boundless, conscious energy, and everything that you claim to be, when you say I am, you are now experiencing that reality. And like I said, the longer you stay in it, the longer you're experiencing. So if you're constantly thinking, regularly thinking, I am abundant, everything is always working out for me, I am a wonderful person, I am always having amazing experiences, people love me, I am always having good ideas, I am always getting what I want in some way or another, things are always working out for me, Everything is always working out for me. I'm a wonderful person. I deserve wonderful things. I get wonderful things. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am wonderful. I am boundless. If you're thinking that, that's the only reality you can experience. If you're thinking, damn, I gotta pay that bill. I forgot to call such and such. I meant to do that, but then I still gotta. Okay, I need to. You're creating that reality. We're constantly choosing what we're focused on, what we're allowing, what we're being. We're boundless energy. So when we say I am, we're creating. You're not abundant. You're not loved. You're not grateful, because those are things that can be taken away from you. You could be grateful right now and then lose something and then not be grateful in 10 minutes because you don't have that thing anymore. So you had gratitude, but now you don't have it right now. You could be loved right now by somebody and do something, or they have some kind of, they make some kind of decision and decide they don't love you anymore. And now you're not loved, quote unquote. So now you went from being loved to being unloved, right? Being loved is something that can be taken away from you. When you say you are abundant, that is something that can be taken away from you, because you could be abundant at one moment and lose some money or lose some opportunity, and now you don't consider yourself to be abundant the next moment. All these things can be lost. When you realize that you are limitless, boundless energy, that you are God, that you are literally all things, you realize that you are abundance, the energy of abundance, not the physical seeing, I have these things, so now I'm abundant. I have this money in the bank account, so now I'm abundant. Not that. You are abundance itself. It's who you are. All you have to do is accept that that's who you are and allow it to show in your physical experience. You are love. It's not what you want. It's not what you experienced. It's what you are. You are the energy of love. You are the energy of gratitude. You are the energy of gratefulness, of appreciation, of happiness, of joy. You are the energy of those things. You are not experiencing those things. You are the energy of it. And the sooner you claim those things as who you are and part of your experience, the sooner you can allow yourself to have those things. The universe is offering you all things at all times, but it's about your belief. That's also part of the equation, because your belief is your expectation. Like, that's equal. Belief is expectation, basically. Expectation is what you believe to be possible, what you believe to be possible for you based on what's happened in the past, what you have, where you are, who you are, what life is. That's what expectation is. It is belief. So you need to expect positive and not negative. You are these energies, and the universe is always giving it to you, but your belief is not there. That's like if you're walking down the street and somebody walks up to you and says, I can give you everything you ever want. You just have to come over here and sign this paper and look in the mirror and tell yourself you're the most amazing person ever. You would literally probably laugh in their face and walk down the street and not believe that they were being honest, because you would think that that's not real. Like, that's not how life works. You have to work hard for what you want. It takes time to get what you want. You have to know certain people to get what you want. It takes certain movement to get what you want. No, boo-boo, it's always available to you. It's just a matter of what you're believing is possible, what you're identifying with. And so when you put your energy in the baskets of everything is possible for me, everything is working out for me, my life is positive, life is positive, life is possible, life is expansion, life is love, I am love. When that is what you're focused on, that is what your life is. Literally. And I know people don't want to hear that. They think like there's something that you have to do physically to experience a certain reality, or certain people, it's not available to certain people, but it's available to us all. The sooner that you realize that you are the energy that is all things. It's not that you have something, you are. You are. It's not that you have this certain job that you want. It's not that you have this house that you want. You are those things. That is part of you, calling you to it, that wants to experience itself. Life is a game. It's forever unfolding, and everything is a mirror. Everything is teaching us. Everything is us showing us a part of us so that we can learn, so that we can expand, so that we can get in better touch with who we actually are and what we actually should be doing. And by should be doing, I mean energetically, what we should be focused on, what our gifts are, what our talents are, what we can offer to the planet itself, to life itself, to people. And not on some like, I gotta pay bills, I need a job type of way, but like everybody has something to offer. Everybody is a god. Like, the sooner we realize that, the better off we'll all be. It's not that Beyonce is special. It's not that Oprah is special. It's not that Jeff Bezos is special. It's not that LeBron James is special. It's not that Albert Einstein was special. None of these people were special. We're all the same. We're all limitless, conscious, boundless energy, capable of doing, being, and having all things. It's a matter of trusting in that and believing in that and allowing that to be your dominant vibration, that to be your magnetic field, that to be your aura, that to be what's attracting what you experience. And the more you lean into that, when you become a master at leaning into that and trusting that you have a gift, not a gift that necessarily is like Beyonce, not necessarily singing, or like LeBron James playing basketball, or Jeff Bezos coming up with some company that a lot of people on the planet use. It don't have to be that. It could be a simple, small thing, but it's special because you do it well. It's special because it makes you happy. It's special because you put all your love and positive energy and positive expectation into that. And because of that, it attracts amazing positive expectations that align with that positive energy. No matter what it is, there are people to receive it. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we allow ourselves to be the individual people that we are supposed to be, with our own special givings to society, to reality, to life, the better off we will all be. We are the things we want to be. It's not that we want to have them. We want to allow ourselves to realize that we are them. I gotta say that again. It's not that we want to have them. It's that we want to allow ourselves to realize that we are them, to feel like the person that has them. The way to getting that is by realizing in our imagination, allowing ourselves to believe, to project, to expect, to allow, to focus on what we want. Positive thoughts, love, abundance, grace, forgiveness, peace, harmony, goodness, well-being, trust, faith. Those are the things that guide us through our life. Those are the things that we need to put our energy in, so that those are the baskets that we are in, and that those are the experiences that we are attracting.